So Nigeria as a country expired. Nigeria was created by a British military officer called Frederick lugard in 2014, 1st of January. That is 112 years ago. It is to expire in the next 100 years after its creation. So Nigeria as a country was never a country. Nigeria is a mini continent created by the British Empire. But let IPOB come out in the street of Nigeria. The Nigerian army have been given the go-ahead order to shoot at sight. More than a lot to discover on the reason why some people have decided to stick to the amalgamation of a mini continent called Nigeria that they never ever consented to nor assented to. Alright guys, welcome to today's edition of Back in History. I remain your history master, social thinker of Africa, too much giving sense respected. So today, we are going to trace back the history of Nigeria from where it started, starting from 1st of January until December. We'll do it this year. So I had to come out to this environment because our place is somehow noisy, so don't mind my location. So starting from 1st of January, that is the exact day the history of Nigeria started. You understand me? So Nigeria as a country was never a country. Nigeria is a mini continent created by the British Empire, the then colonial masters or colonial empire in West Africa, in this part of West Africa later called Nigeria. So on the 1st of January 1914, Nigeria was created by a British military officer called Frederick lugard. Some people go ahead to add it Lord, but he is never Lord. His name is Frederick lugard. He's a British colonial officer that created Nigeria on the 1st of January 1914. That is 112 years ago. 112 years ago. And he said that Nigeria as a country, if it cannot work, it is to expire in the next 100 years after its creation. If they cannot be able to work together, let them separate. So Nigeria as a country expired. Nigeria expired in 2014, 1st of January. So this is 112 years of Nigerian existence, because Nigeria was never a country. The southern Nigeria, the central Nigeria, the eastern Nigeria, and the western Nigeria was a separate nation, a separate entity altogether. Difference in language, difference in culture, difference in almost everything in this life that was meshed together. Remember, Nigeria is a country of over 250 ethnic groups with over 280 tribes. And Nigeria comprises of over 500 languages. If you come to my state in Nigeria, I am from a Ebonyi state. My state speaks not less than 10 languages. Should I say 10 languages? My state only. So, back in history. In this January 2026, there are two major events that occurred in Nigeria. Number one is the Amalgamation of Nigeria, 1st of January 1914. And the second one is January 15. The day the first coup of Nigeria took place was executed, led by 5 majors. Number one is Major Adewale Ademoyega from the western Nigeria. Number 2 is Major Kaduna Nzogu from Delta State today. Another person is Major Emmanuel Ifajona from Anambra State. There were about 5 majors that executed the Nigerian first coup. So maybe on 15th of January, I'm going to do all these things and call out their names and how everything was executed. But today's 1st of January 1914, that was the day Nigeria was created as a country. First of all, Nigeria was sold by an indigene. He was never a Nigerian as of then. Nigeria was sold by an indigene of today's Nigeria, but as of then when it was sold, it was never in a country called Nigeria. So the name of the person that sold Nigeria to the British colonial empire, his name is George Tumangodi. He sold Nigeria in today's Delta State, Asaba. That was the first capital city if Nigeria was in existence as of then. It moved to Calabar, Cross River State today, and then it went to Lagos State, from Lagos State to Abuja in 1991. So Nigeria has already expired. Nigeria has expired as of 1914. The reason why some people, not many, some people have decided to keep on to the mini continent of Nigeria, especially from the northern part of Nigeria and the western part of Nigeria today, called Yoruba, Hausa, Fulani, etc., is because, if I am to say, on my take on that, is because they enjoy Nigeria most. They thought a civil war had been fought, and a certain region, which is the eastern region, former eastern region of Nigeria, formerly called Biafra also, were conquered on a war that was fought in Nigeria for 30 months, 2.5 years. So that is why those people that thought that they have conquered some part of the country have decided to keep Nigeria going because they enjoy it most, because they think they have conquered, while the others that were conquered are under threat, living under siege mentality, etc. So, just to Mangodi. So Justice Mangodi is the man that sold the place you know today as Nigeria to the then colonial empire on the year 1899, and that was the day this country started going to a path of coming together, which was never ever done by them. It was done by outsiders, because the nationalists that we know today that fought for the independence of Nigeria, number one of them is Herbert Macaulay, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Obafemi Awolowo, Tafawa Balewa, and Ahmadu Bello. If I'm to choose number one person, it should be Azikiwe, which became the first ceremonial president of Nigeria, not a complete president. He was only 10 years when Nigeria was amalgamated. To tell you that indigenous Nigerians never ever wanted the creation of the state called Nigeria today. It was done by outsiders, by the British colonial empire, led by Frederick Lugard, a British colonial officer. And that is how Nigeria came to be in existence, without the formal consent of the indigenous people of that entity in West Africa called Nigeria today. That is why I call Nigeria a mini continent, by the amalgamation of the southern and the northern protectorates to form the Republic of Nigeria today. Abubakar Tafawa Balewa was just 2 years as of 1914, while Obafemi Awolowo was 5 years old as of 1914. He was born in 1909, Tafawa Balewa 1912, while Azikiwe was born in 1904. So these people were just kids as of the amalgamation, as of the time Nigeria was amalgamated. They never ever consented to it. You understand me? So the first nationalist that began operation in 1923, Herbert Macaulay, started his own nationalism in 1923 when he formed the first political party in Nigeria called the NNPP. The NNPP. So that was when he began operation. But he never ever consented to the amalgamation of Nigeria some years back in 1914. And the man tragically died in 1946, and Azikiwe then took over his role as the leader of the then NCAC, a nationalist party or nationalist body that was heading to the path of Nigerian independence. So many more to discuss on the history of Nigeria. That's back in history. So the next one is to come on the 15th of January, the very first day the first coup took place in Nigeria. Major tragic incident that have happened in Nigeria is what we are going to be analyzing now onwards. The first one, 1st January 1940. Second one, 15th of January 1966, followed by February 13, 1976, the day a coup took place that took the life of the then head of state, General Murtala Mohammed, in Lagos traffic. Respectively, we cover it up and how the Nigerian war, civil war came to place, and how it all went until it came to an end on the 15th of January. 15th of January. So two major events actually happened on 15th of January 1996 and 1970. Two major events. The first one was the first coup. The second one was the end of the civil war after General Ojukwu, the then leader of the Republic of Biafra, left to Ivory Coast, and the war came to an end by the declaration of the then General Yakubu Gowon, retired. He's still alive today. So many things to learn. Thank you so much. The reason why I love to talk about this Nigerian amalgamation is that I don't know the reason why Nigeria, being a heterogeneous country of diverse ethnicity, etc., many things that we do differently. As of today, Nigeria don't have food, Nigeria don't have dishes, Nigeria don't have language. There is nothing in common that relates to Nigeria. There is no language we point at today and say this is Nigeria. It's either you speak Igbo, Hausa, Fulani, Fufude. There is no Nigerian language, no Nigerian dress, no Nigerian dish, etc. So I'm trying to find out the reason why some factions in Nigeria have decided to stick to this illegal amalgamation of Nigeria. Maybe according to my own take as of now, I say that it is because some people are enjoying it. those that thought that they have conquered. Yeah, I think so. Why some people are not enjoying it. Those that thought that they were the vanquished after the civil war. The then head of state, General Yakubu, declared no victor, no vanquished. But all of us know what happened, even though we are the younger generation today. But history has brought it to our desk to know what actually happened. There was victor and there was vanquished. The victor is the one that have seek to Nigeria today, Nigeria's unity today, no division. While the vanquished are the ones that said, we want the restoration of the Republic of Biafra. Give us Biafra. We have right to self-determination as recommended in the Nigerian 1999 Constitution and almost every other international law. The 1948 December 10 Declaration of Universal Human Rights, it is all there. The UN Charter, it is all there. Right to self-determination. This is how I want to be ruled. This is how I want to be led. But Nigeria have denied some factions of the Republic that inalienable rights. They have denied them. That's why a young man is in jail in Sokoto State today. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. All of us know what happened. Tagged him a terrorist. He's the leader of a terrorist organization, IPOB, the Indigenous People of Biafra. Why no other country have formally recognized IPOB as a terrorist organization? But the government of Muhammadu Buhari recognized it as a terrorist organization. But Britain, America, as they were being, propagated to recognize IPOB as a terrorist organization, have never ever done that because they said there is no attribute of terrorism linked to this particular organization. They are peaceful. It is only Nigeria that recognized IPOB as. Go to United States today, go to Britain today, IPOB will carry their black hat, their flag to the streets. But let IPOB come out in the streets of Nigeria. The Nigerian army have been given the go-ahead order to shoot at sight. That's injustice, if I must say. So, more than a lot to discover on the reason why some people have decided to stick to the amalgamation of a mini continent called Nigeria that they never ever consented to nor assented to. I remain the strategic of Africa to make giving self-respected anti-monopoly capitalism.